What's up, y'all? This is Ty. I am here to review Season 3, Episode 6 of Power Book 3, Raising Kanan. And tonight's episode is titled Into the Darkness. But y'all know what I gotta do. Before I get into this review, I have to give a shout out to my lovely subscriber. I'm talking about folks like Lamont Simpson, Old Boogie Baby, The R.C. Kroger, Quentin Baptiste, Tayon's World, and June BLC, and all the rest of you wonderful people. Y'all know what y'all gotta do. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that share button. Let's keep this channel doing what? Going and growing. We got that out the way. Let's get down to this review of episode 6, Into the Darkness. All right, so Rock is on her way home. She gets home, the lovely house it is, by the way, and she hears somebody banging on the door. And I can't stand when somebody bangs on my door. I hate it. I hate that. I don't like you ringing my bell. What do you want? What? She's banging on the door. It is Unique's baby mama, Vanessa. I believe her name is Vanessa. And she has a gun. She pulled out a gun on Rock. She's like, I know you did something to Unique. What's going on with Unique? Where is he? His workshop, the tailor shop is all wrecked, and he hasn't been home for a week. I know you did something. And Rock is like, I ain't do nothing to him. I promise you, I didn't do nothing to him. But Rock was like, if you don't use that, you need to put that gun away. Like, I don't know what you're doing. So Rock was able to, because Homegirl is not about that life. She just wants to find her baby daddy. She's not about that life. But Rock managed to get the gun from her, knocked it down. She said, now, if I wanted to hurt you, I would. But I ain't going to do that because I know Unique wouldn't want me to do anything to you. So then they have a conversation, and she's telling her, about, how she loved him and she loves him and all this other stuff. And she's mentioning how she knows he's missing and this, that, and the third. And Rock asked her, well, what did the police say? And she was like, the police didn't say anything because they don't care. He was a drug dealer. They don't really care. So Rock says, what did Ronnie say? And she said, he hasn't said anything. And Rock gave that look. And Vanessa was like, don't look like that. I mean, why would you look like that? He wouldn't do that. That's his brother. He loved his little brother. Sweetheart, why are you being so naive? It's like, are you serious? You know how weird Ronnie is? And Rock was like, listen, it could be his brother. Anything can happen. And don't fall for that. And she learned the hard way when she went back to the house and she sees Ronnie going through Unique stuff and taking stuff. And she tries to stop him. That's your brother. Stop. He's going to be mad. And he pushes her to the floor. So that's where she woke up like, you know what? Maybe he did have something. Now she's like, wait a minute. He might have had something. He might have had something to do with that. He definitely might have had something to do with that. Meanwhile, we go on down to Jukebox and her girl group. They're having a showcase. And Marvin, who's one of my favorite characters on this show, he brings that comic relief. He's just being a proud dad. And this season, we see him really making it right with Jukebox. But it gets to a point where he's doing a little too much. So he's over there, and he's right, though, what he was saying. He's like, listen, my daughter got the best voice. My daughter should be the lead of this group, this, that, and the third. But that embarrasses Jukebox, and she's like, pulls him out of it. She says, get up out of here. Get from over here. What are you doing? And so then he feels a little bit bad about that. And I thought something was going to pop off with Jukebox and the rest of the girls, because that one girl that thinks she's the lead, she mouths off a lot, and she says something about, yeah, your father, he don't know what he talking about, and Jukebox was like, watch your mouth, and they was about to come to blows, and then the manager kind of tore into all of them and said, y'all are not in unison with each other. It doesn't feel like a group. Yeah, they liked you. These people that came to see you liked you. But I'm telling you, it was sloppy. Get it together. Y'all need to figure out who's going to be who. You want to be the lead. You're insecure. And she went to Jukebox and like, and you don't know what you want. Figure it out. So I thought that was pretty good. And that was pretty interesting. And I'm liking this episode because I'm liking Well, all these episodes have been good so far, but I'm liking this episode, and I'm liking how Marvin is really trying to be there for his daughter and be a good father. And I like the scene when he said to her, I want, show me how to be a father. And she's like, you want me to show you how to be my father. And you're like, you're the adult here. I thought that was pretty interesting. I thought that was good. Meanwhile, we see Famous is dealing with some things. The guilt of the things that he's done is building up in him. And then we saw him with Lulu, and he's doing his rapping in the studio, and he was afraid. He's saying things are coming up out of me. And Lulu told him, this is your truth that's coming up out of you. And these things that you're feeling is coming up out of you. So, basically, he's having these things where he has to just like get it off his chest, but he also wants to tell the truth. Now, and with that being said, when he gets home from the studio, he decides to tell Kanan the truth about how the gun got. I was like, bro, why would you say something about that? But he told him, he said, listen, I know how that gun got in your bag. Your mother put it there. And Kanan was pissed off. Kanan said, so what, she paid you? And he was like, no, we family, we boys. Kanan threw Famous out his own apartment, because that's Famous's apartment. He said, you get out and you scared of her. Well, I'm scarier. I don't want nothing to do with you. And he kicked him out. I was like, wow, how you kick him out, Kanan? But see, we're getting more. We're seeing the Kanan we know from the original Power. We're seeing that character come to life more and more, because it was like, how you kick him out like that? But what's name had to tell his truth, because it was, he called himself getting off his chest and coming to his boy, his people, but Kanan was not feeling that. So now Kanan is pissed off, and he confronts Rock about this, and they have a big argument about this whole thing. But meanwhile, that social worker still got to come over. While they're having this argument, the social worker comes over, and then she decides she wants to speak to Kanan alone. But, he played it off well. He said some nice things. He mentioned how his mother's overbearing or whatever. And so the social worker says, so far, I'm liking what I'm seeing. The report is pretty good. Follow your mother, this, that, and the third. But, of course, when the social worker leaves, Kanan goes at it with his mother, and he tells her, like, you say you love me. Do you really love anybody? He said, look what you did to Uncle Lulu and all this. And she's like, one day you'll understand. Right now, you're too young to understand. Because he's telling her she don't know what love is. He's like, you don't know what love is. And it's just, you just don't know. You don't know what love is, young buck. She's trying to explain it. He said, well, you can't even make things right with your own brother. And it's true. Because when Rock goes over there to make things right with him, she goes to his club. Lulu was not really wanting to see her, but I thought that was a powerful scene between the two of them, where he's telling her how he feels about what she's done and all the different things, and how he's pretty much blaming her. And she said, well, you have blood on your hands too. And she's like, listen, he's like, I always followed your lead, and everything I did was because of you, whatever. She said, well, you have blood on your hands. There was some things you did too, and you got to take some responsibility too. And she's like, she's tried to make amends with him, and she's trying, but he pretty much told her, get on up out of here. I got to get back to work. So this is really pressing on to Rock, because she has to deal with him. She has to deal with Kanan. Then on top of that, she's out of the game now, so she's this landlord, and there's issues happening at the beauty parlor, the pipe burst and all this other stuff. And it's really frustrating to her. And it's like, it makes her realize, so much is going on. She's like, it makes her realize, I'm not being who I am. I'm not being who I am. Some people are lawyers, some people are doctors. I push weight. That's what I do. I sell drugs. That's what she does. That's basically what she said. And so we see her saying, you know what? I'm coming back into this game. I'm coming back into this game. She learned from Detective Howard how Unique is dead. Like he said, pretty much that dude is dead. We can't find nobody. We saw the blood at this scene of the crime. So she's like, and then he told her, I like that scene too, where Detective Howard was basically telling her, he said something like, are you shook now because he's dead and you think these people gonna come after you? She said, I ain't shook. I'm aware. I was like, I know that. Tell it. That's right. She said, I'm aware. I stay ahead of things, and I am aware. So we see her going back to the Italian. It's going back to Tony Danza because he's always going to be Tony Danza. For me, the actor Tony Danza, she goes back and she makes a deal with him. She wants to get back in the business. So she's going to be back in the game. And he said, listen, I don't know, you're in, you're out, you're in. He said, you got to be serious. He said, you know what, I'm going to throw you a bone, but here's what we're going to do. Ain't no leaving. You in, and that's that. That ain't no going out of it. So she's back in the game with that. So I thought all of that was interesting. And what else happened here? Ronnie confronts Kano. It looks like he's confronted, but he invites him to a party. He was like, you need to come to this party. And he said, why? He says, because everybody going to want to be there. And Ronnie's just so creepy, just creepy. Ronnie's just creepy. So Kanan does go to the party, and he brings Jukebox and Aisha, her group member. Now, y'all see it. Jukebox likes Aisha, but she's suppressing those feelings, and I could tell she was getting a little jealous with Kanan being all around Aisha, and especially when they got to the party, when they were at the party, I should say, and Ronnie's there. Ronnie's just so freaking weird. And then Ronnie's introducing him to the other drug dealers, because Ronnie wants to go into business with Kanan, because he says, I see how you move, I like how you move, we want to work with you. But now here's the thing, when Jukebox peeps all this, she's like, nah, you don't need to be doing this. And she's like, it's time to go, we need to go home, we got to rehearse in the morning. She did that because she's not really feeling him messing with Aisha. And Aisha said, yeah, we got to go. We got to rehearse. And she was trying to get Kanan to leave with them. But then Kanan ended up staying. But he was persuaded by Ronnie. And so he's ended up staying behind. So that was really interesting. And we see that this deal is going to go through. And I'm like, yeah, this is getting interesting now. They're moving some heavier weight. And we see that Jukebox doesn't like that. And she doesn't like that. She's not feeling that at all. And you know she's going to go back and tell Rock. She's definitely going to go back and tell Rock, because she ain't feeling that at all. And I'm telling you, this is really getting interesting here. And I'm like, this is really good. Then we see with Detective Howard, he got the pressures of going on to try to keep the cover-up going and all of that. And that's interesting as well. I mean, this show is just so good. But I'm still missing Unique, but Unique is gone. They killed him off. He's gone. But just when you think, there can't be any more twists and turns in this, there's more twists and turns. And that twist, looking at my notes here, that twist here was with Lulu going over to Scrappy's mother's house. And we see him, he's started drinking again. He's all upset. The guilt is bothering him so bad. He goes over there and he's crying, and he tells Scrap's mother everything that happened. And basically he confessed to his mother. And I'm like, oh wow. That he tells Scrap's mother. And that scene was great too. And I was like, and that's where the episode ended. So I said, oh, what has he done? What has he done? Has it come to this? That's going to be interesting how all of that gets played out in next week's episode. So I can't wait. I really enjoyed this episode. We see Rock getting back in the game. How she's going to handle this when she finds out that Kanan is working with Ronnie. This is all crazy. This is completely crazy. But I thought it was a good episode. Tell me your thoughts down below. Is there something I missed that I should have mentioned? You let me know down below. Tell me your thoughts. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. And I will see you all in the next video.